Greetings everyone, it's your boy, the AntMAN here. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. A black Santa stealing in the ghetto, fa la 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 la. Wait, what? Getting jacked by Santa Claus, all kinds of shit. They need security of the world, and... Friday After Next came out on November 22nd, 2002, and was directed by Marcus Raboy. The film begins with a crackhead Santa Claus, played by Rickey Smiley, breaking into an apartment complex on Christmas Eve, which is also on, oh, what a shock, a Friday. Out of all of the apartments, of course, he breaks into Craig and Day-Day's. Craig, however, is actually the one who ends up catching him in the act and beats him down. Unfortunately, when Santa grabs a hold of the Christmas tree, he starts beating Craig with it, and therefore now has the upper hand. After busting his ass the first time he went through the window, when he goes to escape, he clings onto the bag that he has full of stolen presents, and then jets off. From their presents, to CDs, to some of their personal pictures, and worst of all, their rent money.
Rent money? Sit your ass down. Got the rent money? Who got the rent money? About to do nothing.
Fun fact from behind the scenes. Apparently Mike Epps did indeed hurt his leg when he went over the chair like that. And the fact that he and Ice Cube were able to stay in character the whole time and actually let that be part of the shtick is very impressive.
Beating my ass with that tree. Craig, my leg is hurting, man. Good. Yeah, he got the rent money.
Seriously, these two should have won a BET award for that level of acting alone. To make matters worse, their landlord, Miss Pearly, played by Bebe Drake, bombards the cousins and tells them if they don't pay her the rent money by the end of today, she's going to order her son Damon, played by Terry Crews, to go and give them a what for, on top of some other things that he may want to do to them because, well, he was in prison for a long time.
Show up here tonight without that rent money, and we gonna get real motherfucking acquainted.
Luckily, today is the first day of Craig and Day-Day's new job as top-flight security guards at a strip mall. Down there, Pops and Uncle Elroy have their own restaurant called Brothers Barbecue, which tastes so good it makes you want to slap your mama. Ain't that right, Willie?
Yeah, boy. Hey, mama.
What the hell you want?
Ain't but one location, so it's near shit.
Their boss named Moley, played by Moj Jabrani, is the owner of his own business as well, known as the Holy Moly Donut Shop. He gets them settled in and they have their own pretty tight and limited booth where they can just chill and see exactly what can go down. Craig finds yet another new love interest named Donna, who is under the management of a pimp named...
A pimp named Slickback.
Wait, a pimp?
Named Slickback, yes. Please say the whole thing if you would.
Nope, wrong answer, but close enough. A pimp named Money Mike, played by Cat Williams. Day-Day gets a little too wrapped up in the job and therefore goes on a power trip. In other words, acts like a damn fool. On top of that, Santa Claus might strike again given all the stores that are open, and it's only a matter of time before he can jack somebody else's stuff. I might have mentioned before in a previous video that this was the very first Friday movie I've seen, so this definitely has the most nostalgia for me. I know this is also one of those Christmas movies where they play it constantly all month around on BET or VH1 whenever it's this time of year. Granted, this may not be the best Christmas movie, but it's still one that's quite fun and has quotable moments. A decent amount of those moments actually are from Day-Day himself. In fact, you could make the argument that he's the biggest comedic element in this movie. I mean, that might be the point given that Chris Tucker's role as Smokey in the original was to be the main comedy relief to work off of Craig's straight man attitude. Even then, Day-Day pretty much carried this movie with the hilarious dialogue. Meanwhile, the side characters are, I'd say, a split between being funny enough and just kind of Uncle Elroy now has a new woman by his side named Cookie, played by Seymour, who by the way is the sister of Sugar from Next Friday. Elroy himself states that he moved on from her since he wasn't feeling her anymore, so the next logical step was to deal with her little sister. After all, that is how players roll.
That's how we players roll.
Elroy, you ain't no player. Read my lips. You ain't no player.
The two cops, Officer Dix and Officer Hole, yes, those are their names, who check out the crime scenes all throughout the movie are somewhat apathetic, but tend to still be on quote-unquote duty, as they say. At the start of the movie, they confiscate Craig's weed plant, only just to smoke it up in their car. Then literally, at the end of the movie, they are shown to go back to the apartment just to get more dope to smoke.
Open the door, let's do this.
We're down to barbecue. But all they wanted was some more weed.
In my opinion, the most memorable out of these newer side characters would have to be the group of Christmas carolers that were hanging outside of the liquor store. At one point, because Molly told the guys to not have anyone hanging outside the liquor store, Day-Day, of course being the most hard-headed, has to take that to heart and bothers the carolers who were doing nothing wrong and were just singing. What I love most, though, is how these ladies, while they may seem sweet at first, if you push them too far, they are going to flame you. Shout out to this woman, by the way, for quoting Tupac.
Now, I ain't no killer, you understand me? But don't you put...
Respect, sister. Respect. Unfortunately, this ends up biting both Day-Day and Craig in the ass, since the grandsons of the carolers are ordered to beat them down. Therefore, they kick off one of the many chase scenes that this movie has. That reminds me, while I'm on the subject, this has by far the most chase scenes of any Friday movie. I almost admire how much these guys actually got their exercise while shooting these scenes. Actually, let's count in total how many chase scenes there are. There's the first one that takes place when Santa shows up again and jacks Uncle Elroy's Rolex. Therefore, he and Craig chase him down briefly. The second one is when Craig and Day-Day are of course chased by the carolers' grandsons. The third one is when Money Mike tries running away from Damon after Donna drives off without him. Finally, the fourth and longest chase out of them all, where the cousins actually locate Santa and chase him throughout the hood. Whenever I rewatch this movie, aside from the comedy bits, these are the scenes that I look forward to the most because of two things. One, the energy that they bring, and two, the music. Again, I'll remind you, this was the very first Friday I've seen prior to seeing the first two, so whenever I thought of this one, I instantly had this chase music play in my head. Also, good news, my boy Pinky from the previous movie, he makes a return at Craig and Day-Day's Christmas party. He barely does anything, but with the screen time he does have, he still carries the same level of energy he had before. The best thing about it is that when he talks with Day-Day again, apparently Pinky does not regret firing him at all, given that he was always late to work, as he says.
Man, I know y'all did. Why'd you fire me, Pink?
I had to! You was always late, fool! Say it again! Say it again!
Okay, so I talked about the Christmas carolers earlier being my most favorite side characters from this movie. Second and third behind them, I would place Money Mike and Damon. Once they are locked in that bathroom, their scuffles and dialogue from that point forward are just top tier. From what I heard from people who apparently were locked up for quite a while, Terry Crews playing this role was a little too perfect.
Hey, man, okay? Look, I'm a nice guy, you get to know me.
What the hell you talking about? I am a boy! You are not in prison anymore!
How the hell did any of these people not get a BET award for these performances? I'll say this as well. When Damon assaults Money Mike in the bathroom, I gotta say, I may feel a little uneasy. Not because of the assault taking place, oh no, it's because Damon's family jewels, aka his nuts, being scrunched by vice grips.
Come on. You got a lot of balls.
That's why I'm easy.
now want to take this time to mention the deleted scenes from this movie. Yes, there is indeed deleted scenes, which in retrospect, looking back, I wish they were kept in the final cut. Two of my most favorite one of these include the extended chase scene of Craig and Day Day running away from the carolers' grandsons, and the other one, which kind of comes into play in the final cut of the movie, involves Craig and Day Day taping up Damon with freaking phone books. Yes, really.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, come on,
That's good, dog. I'm ready for war.
Yeah.
But you know, the one piece of deleted content that honestly I'm glad was never really made official in the final cut would have to be the movie's alternate ending. For the most part, it stays the same as the regular scene, but at the part when Craig and Day Day are right outside Santa's hideout, instead of going in right away, they get the others involved. They notify Pops, Uncle Elroy, and everyone else still at the party, so therefore they get moving and they head down there. When they get there, of course they're expecting to beat him down, but there's just one little problem. It would seem that he's a father, has kids of his own, who are homeless.
Please, listen, we've been homeless for about a year. You know, I'll do anything for them, man. They ain't had no Christmas in a long time.
They ain't gonna have one today off from us.
Man, you can take your presents. We don't need them.
You know what? Let's just think about this for a minute, y'all.
Out of everyone here, though, of course it's Craig who saves the day. He lets Santa know that it's not right to steal from people, especially around the holidays. Many people during this time are, of course, struggling to make ends meet for their family, even by just making money, and that definitely goes for black folks who live in the hood. Then right after that, Craig does the unthinkable.
All right. We're gonna go and let you open them presents. That's got some crack babies over here, man. Leave them alone.
Yes!
So of course the kids open up the presents, Craig and Day Day find their rent money, and everyone here is united. While I don't consider this a bad ending, I just don't think it really does this movie justice. I mean, I do understand what they were going for, and granted, it does have a thoughtful message, but I just feel the ending that we got in the final cut is more Friday. Oh, and of course, we need to have this line.
You got knocked the fuck out, bitch!
Hella iconic. I know a lot of people out there will disagree with this, but yeah, I do believe Friday After Next is indeed a classic, much like the first two. All of the acting from the main cast and side cast are all well done. Both the soundtrack and original score are memorable. And above all else, I do respect it for being a Christmas theme. There are not many Christmas hood movies I've noticed, as a matter of fact. Much like 8 Crazy Nights by Adam Sandler is the only well-known Hanukkah movie, except, you know, Friday After Next is definitely a lot better. Though that movie also carries heavy nostalgia for me. I'll talk more about that another time, though. It could be argued as well that this movie was used as a gateway for more comedy stars to hit the scene. Case in point, Cat Williams' performance as Money Mike. He definitely took center stage in all the scenes that he was in, and boy oh boy, he left such an impact, man. It would seem that he and Ice Cube have grown a close relationship, given that years later in 2007, he would co-star with him again in First Sunday. This is by far my second favorite of the Friday trilogy. Sure, it may be a little silly and it may not be as down-to-earth as the original, but I can't bring myself to dislike it. At the end of the day, all three of these movies have consistently made me laugh every single time I rewatch them. I know a fourth Friday was supposed to come out a while back, but of course New Line Cinema I think was being petty, and also turned down both of Ice Cube's possible scripts for it. If I'm being honest with myself right now, I wouldn't mind if the fourth movie didn't happen, because even still, this trilogy right here is perfect. Much like another fan favorite franchise that I feel doesn't really have to go past number 3. The Friday franchise is good enough by sticking to only 3 movies. Only time will tell if we'll ever get a chance to revisit this neighborhood again. But until then, ho ho ho, mofos. I give Friday After Next an 8 out of 10. Thank you all so much for watching this episode, and I also hope that you had a very Merry Christmas. Wait a second. No way. The woke mom knows about my whereabouts? Well, come on, folks. It's go time. We gotta lay low for a while. Deep underground, if you catch my drift. And don't forget to bring your blankie, pillow, toothpaste, and sugar. What do you mean everything I'm saying is totally absurd? Fine then. You know what? I know something that'll calm your nerves. Ladies and gents, may I present to you some high-quality H2O.
I'll beatbox your ass.